What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Zero. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know that we're gonna do a reaction today to the deleted Myron pack out. Yes, it's happening. I don't usually delve into manosphere stuff, but my boy Deleted is another African American YouTuber, so of course we gotta give him some shine and we gotta see what's going on because Myron be talking crazy for way too long. It's way too involved, y'all. If y'all know about Abba and Preach, y'all know that there's been back and forth there. They've gone and done copyright claims on a bunch of content creators and shit over the years. So let's go ahead and get right into the video.
Warning, this video is for comedy purposes only, so loosen up. None of this is factual, just widely opinionated jokes served extra spicy for your entertainment. It's satire, it's cringe, and it's all good fun. If you're sensitive, overly emotional, or the type to clutch your pearls at the slightest hint of humor, this is your cue to exit. Nah, seriously though, get out. Save your tears.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pause real quick. I ain't even gonna cap. Some of this is for entertainment purposes. Some of this is allegedly true, bro. Some of this shit, some of this Myron behavior is allegedly true, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We just gonna have to keep it a buck.
Because they're not welcomed here.
Warning. Your local county authorities have issued a civil danger alert.
One body, two body, three body, four. Vallejo, California, where them youngest they be quick to buzz, ruthless.
He got himself involved. Myron. Is this you?
Where do you rank black women in terms of attractiveness?
All the way at the bottom.
Shut up while I'm talking, man. That's
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. At the bottom. Top five at least. Come on now.
another problem. Shut the fuck up when a man is talking, all right? That's another issue with a lot of you women.
The average black woman's 187 pounds. You've confirmed a lot of the stereotypes.
I'm glad.
Where? What? That was a crazy statistic to pull out of nowhere.
You have a victim mindset.
That's the problem with a lot of you fucking black and Caribbean women.
Loud, obnoxious, rude, fake hair. Bro, this is why black women are the lowest on a totem pole, bro, when it comes to dating, man. Keep it 1,000. That's why y'all get the least matches, lowest response rates.
There's a reason why black women are at the bottom of the fucking totem pole. Because you guys are loud, obnoxious, you don't deal well with authority.
And black women rank the lowest for getting a customer service representative that's black. Yeah, they be trying to fight dudes, and their hair's fake. So, and they have attitude. Black women don't have a general respect for masculinity. Honest here, the majority of black women are atrocious. And most importantly, your authority. A lot of people wouldn't even consider me or my mom black, even though we're from Sudan, and I do think that we're black. But so she doesn't feel as though she needs to submit to you and follow you.
Okay, so there's some. Brooke, I gotta make a comment on that. Sir Myron, if you and your family are from Sudan, like were you born in Sudan? Are you an American or are you a Sudanese man? Because technically, if you're born an American, but your parents are immigrants, but you were born an American, that would technically make you black. You'd just be an African American because Sudan is a country in Africa, right? But then, if you were born in Sudan, you're an African. Now, you may be an immigrant who legally nationalized and so on and so forth, but that would still make you an African. And truthfully, there is still a huge divide in African Americans and Africans socially, politically. Like, there's just so many differences in the way that the two groups think, and it's super disingenuous to try to go and forthright do that type of claim, because you know for a fact Africans look down on African Americans, even though historically they put them in that position, and so on and so forth. So there's a whole thing about it, because this is just a crazy self-hate spew.
Yeah.
So African American women in the United States, they're fat, they're loud, they're rambunctious, they don't respect male authority.
Meet and greet up there?
Yeah. I have been here in the house with everyone.
Shout out to HBO.
Another soft, fragile toaster strudel to pack out.
Again! You idiot!
It's used and abused, and it's old, and it's musty.
Crusty on.
Facts. Just like I was saying, bro. The Abbott and Preach references. Like, dude, too involved, bro.
the outside, gooey in the middle, and Myron.
And quick, I don't mean Abbott and Preach are too involved. I mean like the Myron shit. He got too involved in the beef. You know what I mean? And so then it turned into like, well, you just giving them free publicity, but then you also giving them a free shot to hit back at you because yeah, you going OD on focusing on them on your platform.
You're really mad, and I'm here to make fun of the blacks.
He got that sticky shit on top too,
Yo.
covered in the drip of white validation.
Yo, I'm finna Swiss cheese your eye. I'm finna Swiss cheese you. I'm finna Swiss cheese your eye.
If you're new here and you don't know what this edgelord mess is, welcome to the pack out. This ain't a podcast, this ain't journalism, this is vengeance, bitch. It's like a horror movie, but instead of ditzy airheads and damsels in distress, I body red pill rejects, predators, and translucents. You know them prejudiced weirdos who think they're elite. I verbally curb stomp the bullies for fun. Yeah, corny as hell, but whatever, I'm base.
Nigga, I got aura.
Deleted.
Myron Gangs hates himself deeply and loudly. He is Sundanese, not African American, but he swears up and down that he feels black. I mean,
Okay, cool. Thank you, Deleted, for clearing that up. See, so exactly, bro. You are an African, so you are unfortunately balled into that side of the debate, and you grew up on that side of the debate. So you already looked down on African Americans from the jump because that's how that goes. It's a weird thing because, like I said, y'all, as in historically Africans, sold the quote unquote weaker or easier to capture Africans into slavery, right? Whether it be to Portugal, Spain, so on and so forth, France, so on and so forth. But it's a huge, like, it's not cool, bro.
Sudanese. The truth is he weaponizes that identity only when it's convenient. Yet that's exactly where all his hate is aimed at.
What's your thought on the N-word? Of people trying to police it? Should no one say it? Should only black people say it? Should everyone be able to say it?
Man, I don't give a fuck with these things.
Yeah,
And it was at this moment where Myron felt like he was a good old boy. Dumbass. His weak-ass venom isn't just generic anti-blackness. It's targeted. His real disgust is for black people, but especially black American women.
Where do you rank black women in terms of attractiveness?
All the way at the bottom. Multitude of reasons. And, you know, let's be honest here. The average black woman's 187 pounds. Loud, obnoxious, rude, fake hair.
Bro, I know you're not talking about fake hair because one picture you damn near bald and I see the bald spot. Dumbass. Who the hell hurt this guy? I mean, it's more than obvious he got bullied in middle school and never emotionally rebooted. He got called.
Truthfully, no, yeah, it probably is that, like, immigrants in America having to deal with being the odd one out and then just inflating that issue into a all of them type of problem. That's really what it seems like, because, yeah. And I'm not going to lie. I went to a private school. I am the odd one out, you know what I mean, in that situation. Most of the kids at the school were white, so I was the only black kid. So I can understand that perspective. But then I went and left that school, went to a public school, was around Hispanic, African, white kids, Asian kids, you know, a more mixed, diverse group of people. And a lot of that shit went away. It took a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? I was in private school in elementary. It took middle school and then high school to get some of that stuff off, some of that quote unquote stench of being the odd one out off. Took that initial 3 years in middle school, and then once I got to high school, everything was normal. But like I said, if you don't go through these types of things, you won't realize that that's what the fuck is the problem. Like, that's what's causing your issues, that you're the odd one out and you're not empathizing or rationalizing with reality, right, of your situation.
Called Ashy once in the 7th grade and now he hates his entire race. It's crazy. This dude memorized every anti-black stereotype imaginable. He does this as if mocking them earns him cool points with white America.
These dumb bitches, quite frankly, you guys are stupid. You guys put watermelon, you put salt on your watermelon, ridiculous. You guys eat fried chicken, ridiculous. You guys are fat as fuck, ridiculous. You guys wear weave, ridiculous.
This dude out here.
Nah, okay. First and foremost, we're not the only people frying food. Back up. We're not the only people salting fruit. Back up. That's crazy. Don't do that. That's insane to do that because it's super disingenuous. The weave thing, I don't think we're the only ones, but I can understand that that is more of an American issue. But that comes from racism. And if you knew your history, you'd know why. It's a whole thing about like black hair not being welcome in America in the earlier parts of the American history. And so one of the ways that you would go around doing that, because you couldn't, quote unquote, well, no, it was cheaper to go and buy a weave than it was to perm your hair out every 2 months or every 2 weeks, so on and so forth, depending on your hair texture and hair type, right? So it became cheaper and easier for women to buy weaves and braid their hair and crochet the weave in than to constantly buy the hair chemicals and perm their hair. Also, those chemicals had some nasty side effects and could like burn your scalp and stuff, have some skin irritation issues. So it was just health-wise better all around. That being said, though, you do now have the issue of that's not your hair.
You're really looking like a pet, barking and yapping at black women, but then rolls over trying to get belly rubs from white supremacists. Couldn't be me. Every slur you throw, racists throw them right back at you, but then they pat you on the head and call you obedient. Dumbass. With your yes massa head ass.
No,
this
facts.
man done
No,
gentrified
facts.
his own skin. He hates himself. And although he's Sundanese and he has black ancestry, he sees himself above the black American experience. And he talks down at the culture like it's the reason he couldn't sit at the lunch table growing up. Bro was bullied, you could tell.
I don't fuck with black girls, man.
God damn, shit. We on Rumble.
I believe it.
Yeah, well, honest here. The majority of black women are atrocious and not attractive
Also, you guys
whatsoever.
Is your mom black? Are you black?
Dumbass.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because it's
No,
like
I was just curious.
I always wonder, like,
I'm
men
not
who
trying to
feel
fuck
like
my
that.
mom.
No, but it's like, so do you genuinely feel like your mom is pretty or not?
A lot of people wouldn't even consider me or my
Okay. I gotta make a quick little. I can't. It's hurting me too much. So his family is from Sudan, which neighbors Egypt, right? Egypt, Liberia, Chad. This is Sudan, okay? Now, historically, my family is from this region somewhere. This is all we know, okay? Our ancestry, our genetic ancestry, says it's from the western Gulf of Guinea. So the western part of Africa, pardon me, in the Gulf of Guinea region specifically. And that's all we know. Because historically, right, neighboring tribes, right, were able to usurp our authority in the area and get us up out the continent.
My mom black, even though we're from Sudan.
Curious.
I always wonder, like,
I'm
men
not
who
trying to
feel
fuck
like
my
that.
mom.
No, but it's like, so do you genuinely feel like your mom is pretty or not?
A lot of people wouldn't even consider me or my mom black, even though we're from Sudan, and I do think that we're black. But
no, pause. That was a good one though. Because you don't have to be physically attracted to your mom to go and be like, but no, my mom is pretty. You get what I mean? Like, it's respect. There's levels to it. Like, would you want to be with a woman like your family, like your parent? Now, this kind of is one of those things where if you come from a mixed race household, it's a little bit different. Personally, I come from a mixed race household, but when you are from a same race household, right? Wouldn't you want to, like, wouldn't you as in like it's the right thing, but because it's not wrong, but it's not inherently right either. But it's what you know. So wouldn't that seem correct to you? And so it's this idea of like, what's going on with that?
A black man either snatched his female or a black woman turned him down too many times. Regardless, the dude is fragile. He's in his feelings and it's more than obvious. He's not.
Both of those could be true, but I do think we got to take it a step back to that odd one out perspective. I think it probably has to do more with like bullying in school, and then it just snowballing from there. I don't think it's really like centered on a woman. But hey, I mean, his whole podcast is centered on women, so maybe that is what it is. But personally, I'm a little bit more for like, he's doing that for money than straight up like women were the focus of his content for real, for real. That's just me though. I understand the algorithms, will change the way people work.
Not interested in unity. He's trying to out-whiten the white boys, the racist white boys, by talking down on black people to earn those digital crumbs from his racist fans. But deep down, he doesn't just hate the black culture. He hates.
Damn. Okay, I don't know if the leader's gonna do it, but basically, what's going on is Myron is the reverse white boy from the Dave Chappelle joke. How if you got a group of niggas and it's a gang, right? You got a gang, like an actual gang doing illegal stuff. But you see that one white dude with them. The one white dude is the craziest dude there because he had to do some crazy shit to get the respect of all those guys, right? This is the reverse. All of the supremacists, right? All these I probably can't say that word on YouTube. All these folks who don't like the darker skinned complexion, they already are talking crazy. So he has to talk crazier than them to be even like heard type shit. That's the point. Okay.
It's that he'll never belong to either side. White racists doesn't want him. Black Americans see right through him. So he lashes out, hoping controversy will fill the void his identity crisis never could. The way you hate black people and black women, I know you hate your eyelids.
Difference between a nigger and a black guy, I would say is, let's see here, multitude of things. Committing crime, speaking proper English, or not speaking proper English. Acts. Saying acts.
Hey, yo, I ain't know that he was saying the hard R this consistently on stream. What the hell happened? This was not brought up one time that I've ever heard in any of the like previous stuff covering like Myron's crash outs. I've heard the like monkey stuff and the KKK hood shit before. I did not realize he was saying the hard R this consistently. Get his ass the fuck up out of here. Come on.
Instead of ask, listening to too much hip hop.
Wearing durags.
Wearing durags, yeah.
That's waves. Yeah, waves on niggas.
Yeah, wait, I guess so.
Yeah.
Multiple baby mamas.
Dreadlocks.
Myron hates himself so bad he logs into life as someone else.
That dreadlocks one was crazy because dreadlocks aren't African American historically. Not to say that African Americans don't have dreadlocks, of course we do, but dreadlocks do come from the Caribbean and do come from Africa, so it does actually have like a true historic, all the way back far back reaching, to the point to where like it has to do with Ethiopians and Jamaicans and of religion, right? Their personal religious beliefs. So to go and just try to blanket it as if like dreads are American is once again disingenuous and false.
You're not one of them, man. You're not. You're just a hired help with the podcast. You're a bot. You're the poster boy for brainwash, the blueprint they use to get other black Americans to fall in line and act obedient. You're not a free
This is giving Samuel L. Jackson and Django vibes.
thinker. You're merely a walking instruction manual for compliance. They don't uplift you because you're smart. They uplift you because you make submission look convincing. You're a sub. You're not a dominant. You're a sub. You damn near bend over. Allegedly. You damn near will bend over for acceptance. And it's obvious. It's clear that's what you do, man. That's your little kink. Allegedly. We see right through you, Myron. Dumbass.
Go, Myron. You know, you're gay. We saw you with your white friend Eric and he kissed you, or you were on a bed with him, blah blah blah. That's how I could tell a lot of people didn't play sports or weren't in the military or did anything like with other men where there's like a unified front or a goal. That's just how it is, okay? That's how you build real bonds. That's how you build that brotherly love. I mean, anytime someone says some shit like that, I'm like, yeah, that's how I know that you weren't an act.
Look, bro, I'm not you know, I'm not against homosexuality. I'm not against LGBTQ. But I will let you know that this is kind of true, but not completely. And you not looking nearly bothered enough for this to not be like normal I have like friends from the Air Force and stuff. Yeah, they do, this type of stuff, and it's a little bit more normal for them, and it's kind of weird. They are also white. You know what I mean? Could it be some creep out humor, right? Where like white folks like to do weird stuff to black folks when they around, or like to do weird stuff around black folks to see their reaction? Possibly, but yeah, this is once again giving the help vibes.
Athlete.
At the very least, if not slight homosexual tendencies.
Or you never did.
Nah, Myron, that's just you. No one thinks this way. Only you. You're the only guy that's willing to bend over backwards and forward and let your cheeks get cracked open just so you can feel like you're one of the bros. Allegedly. We don't do that. No one does that. Myron is literally the token they hold up like, see, he made it. Why can't the rest of you behave? You're not respected. You're weaponized. They don't uplift you because they agree with you. They uplift.
But no, that last comment, that is, yeah. They don't respect you. They use you against all the other black folks. And then black folks look at you super crazy because you out here calling us the hard R. Like, they don't look at you and think that you the same as us. They don't realize that you're African. We can see that because we can see the difference in how you act. But white folks don't care about how you act. They just care about how you look. Not to be white folks, those who don't care about the darker complexion amongst those folks.
You because you make obedience look good. You're not proof of success, you're proof of control, dumbass. And the funny thing about all this, I don't even know why I say that. I don't even know why they say they accept them and shit like that, because that's not the truth. They do not like or respect you, Myron. And I know you cry a little inside every time you have to face this realization.
Can I make this interesting? Can I make this interesting real quick? Myron, you were in MySpace the other day, and I said, you're doing a great job calling these, but if we take this country back, we want it for white folks. And would you go home? And you said, I was born here and I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Do you still stand with that answer?
Bro.
This is the type of rhetoric that don't make no sense at all. And then if you platform this type of stuff, you can't be around because you think an insane logic. You can't literally go and kidnap people and then sell them illegally, right? Because by any international law, by any base understanding, slavery is wrong. And yes, some governments get away with it, but what they end up having to do is pay international fines or get some type of sanction or tariff by the world, what's it called? The organization, the World Organization, what's it called? Who? World Health Organization? I think so. And associated bodies, right? So it's not like it just is nothing happens, but also one of the things that's being done by governments is they're doing what they can to restrict the power that those associations have to retaliate against them for those type of atrocities. So it is, an ebb and flow type of situation, but it's not clear cut in the point of like, this is just fine and there's nothing wrong with it and what we did is fine and you should now have to go back. Like, what are you talking about? You kidnapped people. You now have to pay the price of doing so. You forced them to build a country for you. You did not provide them a means to get home. You are the ones who kidnapped them and brought them here in the first place. So what do you mean? You can't go and commit a genocide because that's the only other option for what you're talking about. You've already committed one with the Native Americans, and that was slightly by chance, slightly. And what I mean by that is medicine wasn't well enough understood by all parties around the world at that point in time to understand that diseases could be spread in those ways, shapes, and forms. Yeah, some of the people may have known and may have tried to do it, but it wasn't just generally understood all the way around the world, right? Not every nation, every sovereign nation, so on and so forth. Yes, that happened in Native America, but so on and so forth in Latin America, in Asia, in Africa. You get what I mean?
Look, man, I know you're trying to get a clippable moment here for your fucking.
No, it's the truth,
thing or
man.
whatever.
This is the
Like, I
issue
love
with
how-
whites
I love
working
how
with
we're here talking about a
non-whites.
problem. We're over here talking about a problem, then you bring it right back into, you know, this whole white thing. Like, dude, shut the fuck
This
up.
whole white thing is what built this
Shut
country,
up.
Myron.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey, you
Like,
fucking
literally
sand. You sand. Why do you Browns think
Shut
you
up.
could stay in my country?
You the Drake of the white people, fuck! Dumbass. Knees must stay bruised. I bet you his knees look like his eyelids. All that approval chasing. Get off your knees, Myron. He capes for white supremacy like he's auditioning to be their favorite pet. Watching Myron beg for white supremacist validation is honestly sick. Like watching a dog do tricks hoping for a treat from a hen that's about to slap the shit out of him. He jumps into white nationalist forums and chat rooms like he's trying to network. But even they tell him to his face that he's not one of them. They call him the craziest slurs. They laugh at him, they degrade him, and he stays smiling, acting like it's some form of hazing. I guess he's used to that. He must have been hazed his whole life.
Look,
No, it's the truth. You didn't build this country, Myron. You're not from here.
Address you right
You're
now.
you're not from this country. Why
Yo.
do you think you can stay?
Anyway, like I
no,
was
it's
saying,
a point because you're not white.
What does that have to do with anything, dude? I'm not even talking to you right now.
Because you're in my country right now. You're in my country right now. You're an invader.
Nothing to do with you.
You are a
You're
non-white
fucking nobody.
invader.
I've been a stark defender of white people being able to have this and be able to practice it without people calling them. But then I get kids like this Mexican coming in here.
I'm not
talking
Mexican,
shit
you sander.
for no reason talking.
I'm
shit
not
when I wasn't
Mexican,
even
you
talking
camel
about 'em.
jockey.
So he's Italian. The guy speaking right now is Italian. His last name is of Italian origin. I'm not gonna go ahead and dox him. You can see what his thing is you can see his like his whole handle. So I'm not gonna go and dox him and go that far. But no. Like just a little clear, just to be clear, my family immigrated here before he was born, but his family immigrated here too because he's Italian. Okay? It's to be so honest, y'all weren't even here when we were here. Y'all immigrated here after the slaves were brought here. So what are you talking about your country? And that's not even two separate groups of slaves. You have the Asian slaves that built the railroads immigrating here historically. Like, bro, let me pull this up. When did Italians historically immigrate? So between 1880 and 1924, Italian immigrants rushed to the United States. Keep in mind. Slavery was abolished 20 years earlier than that. So all of the black folks were already here. Slavery was abolished in 1865, meaning that no new slaves could be bought. The slaves that were still here were still slaves, and there was still a bunch of stuff that had to happen after that. But that's still 15 years before Italian immigrants historically start immigrating to the United States. And what are you talking about, dog? Like, it's such a odd historical gap to go and act like the Italians, the Germans, the Jewish population, all within white folks, haven't had racial issues amongst themselves in America over history. So it's so crazy that now the folks who were not considered white folks are now claiming to be white supremacists.
Dumbass. He doesn't act like a guest in those spaces. He acts like he's ready to be their mascot. He thinks he's above black Americans, but to them, he's every slur in the book. He's just an obedient and trained boy, a little puppet who knows his place. And what's worse is that he accepts it. He accidentally called himself white. And honestly, it wasn't a slip. It wasn't. Y'all seen it. It wasn't. That was his soul talking.
Some guys are different about it. Like some dudes are like, yeah, it's gonna be funny. Eskimo Brothers is for a funny story and shit. But I, you know, and then some guys are like, hell, you know, I've noticed with black dudes, they don't like doing that shit. White guys, we're all like, yeah, well, I said we. Yeah, but not me.
Yeah, he's white. He's white, Justin. He's white. He a black bro.
Hey, man.
That was natural.
I officially just stamped Myron as white.
That was the dissociation leaking out. It's not just internalized racism, it's full-blown identity crisis. Watching it happen in real time is just sad and gross. It don't
This is the sad disassociation that occurs with Africans as they come to America, because they don't understand the history behind African Americans and around slavery as a whole, or they're not willing to accept the African part in it, right? Of course, not every African tribe was involved. They literally continue to have tribal wars for, you know, decades, centuries, and so on and so forth. Even to where, like, some countries are currently in civil war now. And that's not to, you know, blame them or say that black folks can't be civilized. There's civil wars in Latin American and in European and Asian countries at the same time. So it's not a thing that's localized to a race. It's just you know, it's just a part of human existence to some degree. There's going to be disagreements and conflicts, right? But the disassociation from yourself and from those like-minded people, or like, you know, people closest to you, people who look the most like you, that would give you some type of community. The unwillingness to make those compromises that you need so that you can become ingratiated into those communities is part of the reason why Africans and African Americans still are so heavily divided.
No matter how much you let that white boy power get inside you, Myron, you'll never be one of them, man. I don't care how many times you submit. I don't care how many times the jizz runs through you. It's not gonna happen. Allegedly. Yo, I can't believe I just said that. This man think he white inside now just because he let the skeet run through. Allegedly. And what is with his obsession with black women? It's sickening. I seen this before in movies and shit, bro. You hate them so much, but you really don't. You could tell you want them so bad, but you can't get one because they don't like you. He's not mad at black women. He's mad they curved him. His beef is personal as hell. He got curved in middle school and he never healed. You could tell. This man's still fighting 8th grade rejection like it happened yesterday. Every time he rants about being loud or ghetto, just know he's picturing that girl who laughed at his ass in the classroom and turned his ass down. He ain't over it. It's more than clear. He is.
Like I said, I'm not against that, and putting them together is, you know, I'm for it. But I really think it plays more into bullying on top of that. You know what I mean? That situation easily turns into getting bullied for it for like a year or two if you don't move, if you don't change schools, so on and so forth. Or if you're not willing to go and try to like face it head on. You know what I mean? If you go face that shit head on, that might end within the first couple of weeks, first couple of days. If you let it go on for the first couple of weeks, then you got months, then you got years of you being the dude who got rejected in class and who never got to live it down. You know what I mean? You approach them about it, you know, you handle your business like a man, or like, quote unquote, like an adult, right? Whether that be having to go and have a talk, whether that be having to go and put your fists up, you know what I mean? As long as we ain't getting no weapons involved, I'm for resolving the issues however they need to be resolved. So hopefully that could have changed this type of thing, because yo, the quote unquote peaceful resolution at the time of not doing nothing and not speaking up turns into all this self-hate and turns into all this hate for a race that you don't even understand because you're not willing to go and make the compromises you need to start taking in that information in the first place.
Is not over it. So he goes and builds a podcast to vent like a broken NPC character. Instead of going to therapy, he hits go live and starts trauma dumping onto strangers. He hates black women, but the way he tries to describe them, he actually describes himself.
While they simultaneously still go out there to the sexual marketplace and look for a better guy to replace your dumb ass with while you're sitting at home playing Call of Duty. She's the
Who's the emotional one now? You yell like a black woman, bitch. You talk like one too. Yet still you want to sit up here and say we're emotional?
Yo. I didn't even know they was gonna start bringing black women into this. They said the leader said let the black women speak for themselves. Hold on. We gotta back this up for a second. We gotta let them come back in. Let her come back in clean.
Himself.
While they simultaneously still go out there to the sexual marketplace and look for a better guy to replace your dumb ass with while you're sitting at home playing Call of Duty. She's the
Who's the emotional one now? You yell like a black woman, bitch. You talk like one too. Yet still you want to sit up here and say we're emotional? Well, we got ovaries. What's your fucking excuse?
Dumbass. I really want to meet the woman that broke this man's heart. I bet she funny as fuck because whatever joke she had for this man, it affected his entire life. It's his whole identity. She's the real GOAT. His obsession is just weird and loud as fuck. Like, bro, why are you so emotional every time they're mentioned? Like, seriously, why are you so invested? The second a black woman speaks, he flips, starts yelling and erupting, throwing fits. Bruh, get the sand out your coochie. Get the sand out your coochie, Myron. Because everything you say about black women, you actually are describing yourself. Loud, aggressive, emotionally unstable, crying on stream daily. You're reverse victimizing. Like, you always saying black people and black women act like victims, but if you really see what you're saying on how you cope with your sad ass life, you sound like a victim just raging 24/7, projecting your insecurities onto other people. Dumbass. He's not describing black women, he's exposing himself every fucking episode. You don't like black women because you're not man enough to be with one. They see the chihuahua in you. You're a yapper. You bark. That's what little animals do. That's what little creatures do. They yap, 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 yap. That's their defense mechanism to steer the predators off. And I ain't talking that kind of predator. I'm talking about a real life just beast. Thinking you look big and bad, but really you look pathetic. Only this fragile little man is gonna cry, yell, and throw tantrums to feel heard. When's the last time you heard a lion roaring nonstop? You don't, because real power moves in silence. I hate.
This is a fact. Real power does move in silence. Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Lasagna, like, this is random, but I hate lasagna, bro. Lasagna nasty as hell. I don't care. Shut up. I don't like lasagna. But even I gotta agree with Wayne when he said real G's move in silence like lasagna. The king of the jungle ain't out here screaming at prey. He ain't screaming at prey, bro. He's not. He's calm, calculated, and lethal. But you scream into the mic like it cheated on you and it kept receipts. You don't sound dominant. You sound exposed. You sound depressed and you sound sad. You sound fragile. You sound broken. You sound easily hurt. Every damn episode, you're just proving how weak you truly are. A real man doesn't have to yell at all. He doesn't have to bark. He doesn't have to throw tantrums. His presence speaks before he does. You feel him when the energy shifts. In a household, he doesn't have to demand respect. He commands it through how he moves.
Pause.
His silence and his stance says way more than another man's shouting match ever could. Where the loud ones need noise to feel powerful, a real man needs nothing. Because real power doesn't announce itself, it is felt. Get what I'm saying? That kind of man's presence builds peace and not chaos. In other words, we see right through your broken ass, your broken glass ass. You glass, we see right through your broken glass ass. You not even a whole glass. You not solid. You broken. You sad.
To make another
You crying.
To make another Samuel L. Jackson reference, he is Mr. Glass.
inside. Someone broke you, Myron, and you're taking it out on every black woman. Allegedly. Somebody broke you and now you're out here swinging on every black woman like they're the ones who did it. That pain wasn't their fault, but you made it their problem. Dumbass. By the way, he's 35 years old and has his first girlfriend ever. That's coming out his own mouth.
Well, when was the last time you had a girlfriend prior to Angie?
Not really.
Okay, so
No.
you've never had a girlfriend in your life until you dated a foreign girl.
Not like a, yeah. But
Case fucking closed.
no.
Case fucking closed. You never had a girlfriend.
Okay, that's. Oh my God. I don't even know what the case is, but this white man on something because yo, fam, I'm 28. Okay, I'm 28. I got a lady. I got a kid. I've had my past mistakes with other relationships where I've made mistakes and they've made mistakes as well. You know what I mean? It's 50-50. You know what I mean? Some relationships were more my fault, some relationships were more theirs, you know what I mean? But to go and be like, you're 35, you've had one girlfriend and she's a foreigner. So fam, you don't talk to people in real life. You're not approachable in real life, right? You don't know how to approach people in real life. Now, yes, all of those are social issues, but like in the dating pool, that's already a huge red flag. Okay? It really is. The fact that online has altered school and social events as the main way people meet has caused a huge problem because you have people not developing social etiquette. And this is another thing like this. You take the lack of social etiquette from not being face to face and going outside, touching grass, so to speak, with the African surrounded by African Americans and being out of place, so to speak. And yeah, now you have two things that compound onto each other in a way that really pushes you away from people and would make you feel ostracized. So there is some empathy I can have for how Myron got to his situation, because it wasn't all his choices. You know what I mean? His parents chose to immigrate. His family chose to bring, you know what I mean, themselves to America. So now he has to deal with that situation. He wasn't an adult, so I can empathize with that side of it. But not being willing to go and step up and deal with the situation. Now you're 35. You know what I mean? As a kid, I can give you a little bit more empathy that you don't understand how to deal with this shit. You're 35. You're 7 years older than I am, my guy. So I can't give you no empathy now. Now we got to see what the fuck's going on and why you haven't developed social etiquette with the opposite sex, with the opposite sex in the same race as you, or same group of races as you, at least, right? Because we can at least agree that we all have African ancestry, right? Yeah, we may be the African Americans and you may be the Sudanese African, right? But we all have African ancestry and we can agree upon that. So the fact that you having that issue is huge. Now there is also some plight for the African Americans on this one. But to be truthful with you, a lot of the African American plight with Africans is how uptight, uppity, and down their nose they are at African Americans. African Americans feel that Africans feel like they're better than African Americans, and that is a huge part of the problem that we have internally with that struggle. We're still trying to figure that out, feel it out, but that is the base of that personally, from my understanding. Once again, though, I am mixed. Okay, so I'm Asian, African American. I'm Japanese. I'm African. My family is from Georgia, but like I said, like I showed you, ancestrally we're from the Western Africa, Ghana region, Cote d'Ivoire region, possibly, right, from there to Guinea. And so there's levels to it. Also, truthfully, to be truthful, my bloodline has been infiltrated by the white man, by English to be specific. At some point within our bloodline, from what our ancestry has shown, we have like 11% from like Scotland and England area, and that can only, truthfully, from a historic point, be from slavery. You know what I mean? So there's the reality and the understanding that I have with that versus someone from Africa who has generation upon generation of family history within their native country. For him, it would probably be Sudan, unless, of course, maybe his Sudanese family actually immigrated around Africa. That's a possibility too. We don't know. I'm not trying to judge or anything like that. I don't have no problems or nothing like that. If you were, Congolese, I think is what they call people from the Congo, and your family ended up migrating over to Sudan over the last 100 years or whatever. It's fine. It's cool. You're an African. I don't got no hate, nothing like that. But there is internal struggles within Africa that also have their own issues that could cause immigration. So there's a whole list of things where it's like, fam, you can't, if you're immigrating, not to be like, you can't act like you're better, but you gotta know that you gotta fit in. And I understand, like, he was young when it started, but nigga, you're 35, and nigga, you're 35 with one relationship. This is insane.
Yeah, but
case fucking closed.
No.
Case fucking closed. You never had a girlfriend or serious relationship until you met a foreigner.
And how in the hell have you been podcasting like a relationship guru, but your first kiss probably came with an instruction manual? Having your first relationship at 35 is very revealing. All those weird just friends texts and all those left on red heartbreaks, the woman who curved you without blinking. Yeah, now it makes sense why you hate women so much. It seems like you hate all women.
And seriously, this is crazy for me. This is super crazy for me. How did you do this? Now, let's reflect. What did you do? What was your passion before the podcast, Myron? Was there ever anything that you wanted, that you put a bunch of effort into, that you got to a point where it was so good that other people noticed? Because if not, that's why. That's the problem. That's what it is. Because in your early years, in your 20s, in your late teens, your 20s, what you're supposed to be doing is figuring out what your hobbies are and setting up some social relationships, right? Your friendships, your support network, right? And this is when you pick, you know what I mean? Are you into like a career? Are you into an art form? Are you into, saving the environment? What are you into, right? What is your focus? What is your passion? And when you start investing in that passion, people start noticing. And then there'll be someone with that same passion who wants to attach themselves to you. That's gonna happen if you put that work forward. It may take a little time, but nigga, you 35 and you decided to change to, I'm now passionate about hating the women who, I guess it would be hating the women who I initially wanted, but then we don't even see you, like, it then just turns to hating all women. Yeah, it then just turns to hating all women because you start having Latina chicks on, you start having white chicks on, Asian chicks, and you just start shitting on all of them. But you also only have like the IG models, the OnlyFans girls. Like you're picking from a very specific source of women, like women who do who are willing to do a very specific type of thing, and put themselves through a very very difficult life already in regards to the type of shit they have to deal with, right? So you're choosing those women. You're not choosing the business women who are college graduates, masters, got their master's degrees or got PhDs. You're not talking to those women. You're specifically talking to basically women who are interested in sex work or are already involved in sex work. Now, we understand that sex work occurs and that it's an industry that will continue to exist for the foreseeable future, whether you believe that should or shouldn't occur. But only talking to them and then basing all of your interactions with women off of only them is kneecapping yourself. And that's what you done. That's what it is. It's no wonder this shit's happened, bro. You did this to yourself. Like, and then, yeah, we watched it, and then, yeah, your audience looked at it, and you didn't have an audience who cared about you. You had an audience who was, they don't like certain people of darker complexions, right? Your audience is what are they called? They're called it's like a toxic audience that is viewing to watch the destruction of the creator's life effectively, right? Watching watch them crash out and spiral out and shit. That's what your audience was doing, man. And like I never tuned in to watch any of the Fresh and Fit podcasts live. I never went and pulled up any Fresh and Fit content from any Fresh and Fit channel itself. I only ever heard of you from news and from other channels commentating on the situation. And personally, that's because I didn't think that what you were doing was interesting enough for me to want to go and see what you were crashing out about. So you didn't even hit my crash out interests. You know what I mean? So it's a very specific audience that you were pulling in at that point, and they weren't. If you're not paying attention and if you're not like gauging who the audience is, because yeah, you're going to take in that audience's feedback for the content so that you can continue to make content, continue to strike the algorithm, continue to make successful content, right? But that successful content has an audience, and you can tell what type of audience that is. And other content creators, shout out FD Signifier, recently did a whole video where he broke down how his analytics look and how it's changed over time because of his channel getting bigger, and how it went from him being featured with other African American and black content creators and other philosophical content creators to other larger channels that are, for lack of a better term, majorly Caucasian, just due to popularity. There were still things where, for genre purposes, there were still connections, and that made sense. But once it got to a point where he was large enough as a channel, he started having similar issues where his viewerships looked like other large channels, and those are mostly Caucasian right now. That's just the truth about it. Unless you go and switch into the Asian sphere, right, where you're talking about like Indian or Chinese or Japanese or Korean, but really truthfully, it would be for YouTube, it would be India. China has Bilibili, I believe is what they call it. They have their own version, but then Japan and Korea both use YouTube. Japan uses YouTube more heavily. Korea just went and launched their own like streaming rival. So there's certain local areas that have their own issues, but it's not like the entire platform is white as a whole or Caucasian as a whole. It's just that our side of the platform is Caucasian as a whole, which is, that's just the facts, that's just the statistics. But when you are a content creator making defamatory content, not against a person, but against like a race and a sex, you gotta pay attention, because it'll start skewing your own personal beliefs, because you'll start getting confirmation bias, and that'll skew your beliefs.
Women, but you really focus on black women. They saw the insecurity before you even found your voice. You're not heartbroken, you're haunted. They are haunting your soul. Dumbass. This man be screaming alpha male but folds when a woman breathes too loud. You can't even lead a convo but want to lead a household? Stop it. This man built a whole brand on clowning women but got bullied by puberty. That's why he's loud. No one listened to him growing up. And then the whole smart guy act, that shit's getting annoying. It's just a shield for a broken little man. Myron isn't smart. He just yells, gaslights, and quotes fake stats like a human Reddit thread. All that smug I'm smarter than you energy, yeah, nah. That's just armor for the scared, fragile, broken man hiding underneath. Deep down, he's not confident, he's terrified. He's terrified of being wrong, of not being in control, of getting embarrassed. So what does he do? He rages. He cuts people off. He talks over women. He screams until he feels powerful. He hires women just to sit there and get verbally jumped so he can finally feel like he's dominating something.
Get the fuck out of here, you fat bitch, because I can match energy with you. Yeah, you are. You're easily 180 plus pounds.
Man, you're the oldest girl.
Is that scale working?
Yeah, she's obese.
Okay. Can we kick her off the
Jesus. Okay. So look, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna be honest. This tummy, although I would not approve of this being worn outside alone, if I'm in a relationship, but if this was my woman and we were together going out, it's probably cool. I'm probably fine with it. Her going out with her friends like this, it's a little too hugging for me, for her to be going out with her friends like this. If you want to wear this around the house, wear this around the house. But if we're going out together, that's fine. Also, this tummy, like I was saying, fam, I don't know why she has this tummy. They're going to call her obese. I'm going to just go ahead and let a bunch of people know. Once a woman has a child, things change. And you have a child. So, you take the blessings and you take the reality and you move forward. Okay? You have a child now, possibly. I'm not sure if that's exactly what this is, but in a lot of cases, that'll be a situation that a lot of ladies don't feel great about, is that after having a child, they'll have a tummy like this. And I don't have a problem with it because I know what it's from, right? I get it. Now, I also feel that there's a bunch of men like me who understand that and get it. And so this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this lady. She's a very beautiful woman. The last woman that he talked about, this woman, he said she was obese. I don't see that. She looks fit. She looks fit. Okay? She got a little thickness in her arm. It is bent, but it's got a little bit of thickness there. I'm not seeing no pudginess, no hanging over this belt line. So I'm not seeing what you're talking about with her being obese. She's a bigger girl. And when I mean big, I just mean she's, like, look at that. She's as big as this other lady, but she's got on a whole thing. She's just a little bit thicker. She's bigger. I don't think she's overweight, though. She looks like she is healthy. She probably works out. You know what I mean? That's probably muscle. I feel like it's crazy. Jumping to obese is insane because, like, obese actually looks obese. There's a difference between like it's like it's like Gabriel Iglesias. There's fat, husky, fluffy, damn, like there's categories. I don't remember the joke specifically, but there's categories, right? And there's differences, and you don't just end up at obese, right? You're not just pudgy and then obese. It's like you got a little bit to go before you really get to being overweight. And when you are working out and stuff, sometimes your body doesn't want you to burn the fat. Sometimes it converts the fat to muscle. Sometimes it doesn't create muscle and it just burns all of the fat. You know what I mean? Your body will react differently to the situation. Everyone's body is a little bit different to how it reacts when they start working out and start focusing on certain exercises and stuff like that. So you'll have to figure that out, work with the exercise coach and stuff like that so that you can get fit. But it's not just like a one-size-fits-all type of situation. You can't just go and grab a dumbbell and then all of a sudden your stomach's going to go away.
Is that scale working?
Yeah, she's obese.
Okay. Can we kick her off the show now? For
Yeah.
All right, get out of
Sneeko,
here.
you do it.
Hey, fatty, autistic
You
retard.
get on it now.
No,
You get on it now.
Get out of the show.
You want me to get on the
Bye.
scale?
How about
I'm
this?
gonna make your show.
How about you get your fat ass up and get the fuck up out of here? Get the fuck out of here.
need
How
my
about that,
fat ass?
bitch?
That's
We
not
don't need
true.
you. Get the fuck up out of here.
He's a pretender when he's really a submitter.
How about this?
Make your show.
How about you
And
get
just-
your fat
just-
ass up and
just-
get the fuck up out of here? Get the fuck
Let me
out of
just
here.
get
How
a
about that,
fan.
bitch?
That's
We
not
don't need.
Okay, she turned a little quick. Mics are blocking it. Thank you microphones. There's no fam. This is a flat chest, fam. So yeah, no, Myron's immediate reaction whenever a woman just doesn't agree with him is to call her fat. That's sad, cause no, this is a beautiful black woman. She's got nice little assets to her. There's no reason to be calling her fat. Maybe you could call her loud if that's how you feeling. I don't know. I didn't watch this content, but fat is not wasn't the right one. So yeah, it just shows how like my man's is just crazy. Also, shout out Sneeko for just sneaking a peek real quick. What the fuck? I didn't realize I paused on Sneeko, just dead stare, just like,
Need you. Get the fuck up out of here.
He's a pretender
And
when he's
the
really a
then he had to look straight.
submitter. You could tell Myron one of those guys that secretly gets spanked in real life, allegedly with a paddle or some shit. You could just tell he's one of those guys. When Ronnie came in from Players Club,
Assume the fucking position. Say it loud.
I'm black and I'm brown!
it's not a debate show. It's a weird power trip for a man who's never had any real power. He doesn't want discussion. He wants to win arguments. He wants to win arguments against people he thinks are weaker than him.
That's a good one.
Just so he could feel bigger and better about himself. But no matter how loud he gets, he's still that broken dude underneath. We ain't gonna stop saying that. You're broken. You're glass. You're see-through. You're fragile. You built a whole brand just to avoid crying in private. You hate yourself so loud it echoes. You don't know who you are, so you scream at people who do. Dumbass. Oh yeah, did y'all see how Myron randomly came for DDG? Like he was holding a grudge in silence?
DDG. I called it. I fucking called it. Nigga want to come on our show and act all fucking brand new and shit. Mermaid. The fuck out of here, nigga. She dropped your dumb ass and now you can't even see her son. Came over here all fucking stink face thinking he's the shit or whatever, and then he made that dumbass video or whatever. Bro, fuck that nigga, man. He's one of these guys that always has this face like, oh, I'm not impressed. I'm cool. Like he's one of those guys. You're here with an A-list celebrity bitch.
That's the whole thing. DDG that's a whole issue of its own. Like, what DDG is doing is both good and bad. Because it's like, okay, good, because you want to be an active dad in some ways, but then bad because it's like, but you're not trying to communicate. You using the son on your stream. Like, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of moral questions about the whole situation, and then there are a little bit of moral questions I have for Haley, just in regards to like, I've been through some things personally, so I can kind of empathize with when a relationship ends and a child's involved, things don't always just turn out great. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go and put too much on either side in that regard. If there's ever more, what's it called? If there's ever more evidence or knowledge that comes out in that situation, we might be able to go over it. But we're gonna go ahead and just, it's a tough situation. I hope they get that one settled and figured out.
Bitch that got more clout and attention than you. I knew, and now your dumbass running around on Twitter like, oh, I can't see my son, nigga. What the fuck did you expect?
This is the other thing, though, that you gotta keep in mind. DDG is not without clout, okay? Complex put out I believe it was Complex. Complex put out a list. He was on like the top 5 most influential hip hop streamers currently, right? Like, you gotta give the boy his credit in that regard. Now, whether that is or isn't being affected by this situation and it is positively affecting his streaming numbers, we have, we gotta have some ethical questions in that regard. But you can't say that he's not successful in his own right, and that has been an odd take that I've seen that I don't fully stand by, because he does have his own successes. He's not broke, he's not down and out, he's not down bad, so to speak.
Oh my God, quit bitching. All you do is nag. Seriously, how does this guy have a following? All he does is nag and cry. Out of nowhere, Myron launched a full-ass attack on DDG, unprovoked. Like he had that rant sitting in the drafts for months. He never mentioned him before, no beef, no tension. Then boom, he's yelling into a mic about how DDG isn't a real man because of how he handled his relationship. He mocked the breakup with Halle Bailey like it was a joke. Then he would take it even lower. Mock DDG's custody issue like it was just content, not a man trying to fight to see his kid. He threw in DDG's a loser, all while acting like he was preaching some manhood truth. But it wasn't truth, it was just pure jealousy in real time. Myron finally got a girlfriend at 35 and suddenly he thinks he's the relationship police, I guess.
Yo, why this little fresh and fit nigga always on my nuts?
Little? Nigga, you're 5'7", like 160 pounds.
Fuck fresh and fit, nigga.
Shout out Yu Hakusho.
They on my dick, nigga. Now I wanna go on your shit, now you mad. Fuck you, nigga. He said he ain't like how my face look. He said I looked at mean or something in the club. Nigga, I got aura.
And then this dude really sits here comparing his girl to Halle like it was a flex, dragging Halle's looks because she doesn't fit his washed up Eurocentric Pinterest board. Just because she ain't your ideal doesn't mean she ain't fire, bruh. Let's keep it a buck. Not everybody follows that Eurocentric beauty guideline. We don't. Dumbass.
The way you disrespect women, you gotta at least have a bad.
You gotta have a bad bitch. Nigga, you put a baby in this. This guy really trying to sit here and say Angie's mid. Nigga, this is your girl. You actually impregnated this creature. The fuck out.
Nah, okay. This is the problem. Just a clip ago, you was talking about how she A-list. So she can't be A-list and then be trash. They don't make trash A-list. You can't have it both ways.
Get out of here, DDG, Doodoo G. You dumbass. Dumb gnome.
Then he tries to flex about how his girl respects him because he demands and has her passwords and login info.
Yeah, I'll hit her with a follow. Now, Myra, don't be beating her because I'm following her, okay? Yeah, let's go follow her. She only got 557 followers.
Seeing she has her profile on private. What this nigga doesn't realize is I'm the leader. I'm the boss. What does this look like, DDG? Looks like I have her profile, right? So I see everything that comes through here. Unlike you, my woman actually respects me. Unlike you, my woman understands that I'm the leader. Unlike you, I run my relationship. Unlike you, I call the shots. You understand?
All right, that's not respect. It's surveillance. You're not her man. You're the FBI agent with mommy issues. If you gotta monitor her like she's 14 on TikTok, you already lost her. You don't have loyalty, you have a hostage. Real respect is freedom. Real love is trust. And I'm here to tell you right now, if she wants to cheat, no password in the world's gonna stop her. Control her all you want, you just look stupid and fragile. She'll still lie with a smile if she wants to. No woman respects a man who handcuffs them to prove a point. You're not dominant. You're just lame, fragile, paranoid. You can't stop a hoe from being a hoe. She gonna hoe her way into anybody's life. Just like a woman can't stop a man from being a hoe. He's gonna do the same shit. You can't stop it. It's gonna happen regardless. So if you feel like that's what you have to do, you already lost them. Give it up. I'm just saying, all this towards DDG was random, bitter, and clearly personal. It seemed like DDG's existence triggers everything Myron hates about himself. It's the fact that Myron really said, fuck that guy over a normal breakup. DDG went through a common breakup and custody issue. Nothing wild, just life. And Myron randomly snapped. What did DDG do to you, man? He must have smashed one of those females you wanted back in the day and you couldn't get. Like, for real though, you mad that he didn't yell at his girl? He didn't belittle women for content like you do? Dumbass. What did you expect Brett to really do? Myron's only mad that DDG handled it like a man, not like a rage-filled control freak with a podcast and a mic. He salty DDG didn't shack up with a white girl to feel less black like he did. Myron's stupid ass thinks being controlling equals being secure. It's not. He was tweeting and all kinds of shit. He couldn't come up with anything, so he was calling DDG dumb gnome, clown DDG's height and weight, 5'6", 150 pounds. Like that somehow wins arguments. The crazy thing is DDG is actually a boxer, not professionally, but amateur. He got hands, and he said that he will shoot the fade when he sees him. It don't matter how much you work out, Myron. If you don't know how to squabble, you get knocked out, bruh. And then after DDG would respond, this bozo would double down. Dude responded with straight up racist, anti-black stereotypes, even played monkey sounds while clowning DDG's blackness. Like that's a solid comeback or something. He wasn't clapping back, he was cooning on command. Desperate for approval and the praise from the same crowd that calls him the same exact shit. They just call you a good boy with it, dumbass.
Correction, I only beat her on Sundays, Pontiac maid. But thank you for the comment. However, maybe if you had beat up your mermaid ex-baby mama, you would be able to see your son more, you fried chicken connoisseur, which that's true.
Everything you say about DDG, they say about you. I'm telling you right now, they say that about you, bruh. They just call you a good boy with it. Myron, you don't need enemies. You've been fighting your own face since birth. You've been fighting your own face since birth. You got beef with your face. At this point, it seems like you love white approval more than your own mom. I mean, your mom is Sundanese. She has black skin. Do you hate your mother? Like, she birthed you, bruh. You hate black women because they look too much like the woman who raised you. And that's sad. You hate black folks so bad you flinch when you walk past mirrors. You see himself in the mirror, he flinch. He gets a jump scare. Dumbass. The sad truth is that he's a self-hating clown starving for validation. Myron gangs is what happens when internalized racism, fragile masculinity, and social media clout chasing all crash into one confused man-child. He hates himself. He hates where he comes from, and the harder he runs from his blackness, the more he exposes how deeply it owns him. I wouldn't say owns him like in a diss to black people or the culture. I'm saying owns him like it's bullying him. His ancestors are beating the fuck out of him internally. His ancestors are spinning in their grave. They are beating him up inside. Pause. And let's not forget, Myron's not even black American. He's not. He's Sudanese. Sudanese. And like a lot of non-black American folks with melanin, he moves like he's somehow above us. There's this wild, delusional flex some of them carry. Not all, some of them. They think they're better than black Americans. Like they're exempt from the same racism we face daily. Bruh, go into a prejudice store. You still gonna get followed. You still gonna get profiled. They don't ask what country you're from before calling you a slur. You're not the exception. You're just blind. Dumbass. Myron walks around acting like his cultural background makes him elite, but he's getting played by the same damn system. Dumbass. It's funny watching people talk down on black American culture while eating the same discrimination, just with a different accent. He's not powerful. He's not respected. He's a cautionary tale in real time. A sad little man who built his platform by beefing with his own reflection and by putting down women. This is not going to end with influence or impact. It ends with him being
Women of
remembered
that
as the
same
loudest
complexion.
example of how far self-hate can take you. Dumbass. You scream to prove you're a man, but the loudest thing about you is your insecurity. In reality, you're just background noise in a room with people that never accepted you and never will.
Bruh, facts. Nah. Shout out Deleted. You know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to Deleted. If you like the video, leave a like. Go ahead and comment. Let me know what you want to see next. We're doing different types of content right now. I was in an accident in February. I got rear-ended and my car was totaled. I actually have been going to like physical therapy. I had to get a CT scan and an MRI done. So I apologize that I haven't been able to stay as consistent as I wanted to with the content. We are going to get back to that. It's just taking a little bit of time while we get stuff situated. While we're waiting for the healing to finish up, you know what I mean? I am going to be making some content on the new car that I got, just like, you know, shorts and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing some reactions here and there, and then I am streaming on Twitch. I got Schedule 1, and I've been streaming that a lot. So we'll do some shorts. I might go ahead and throw that stuff up here too. But thank you very much for coming around. I hope you guys liked the video. Love y'all. See you again soon.